Greetings everybody, it's me Knight, and I'm going to be doing a quick video. It's also for I guess a question. Somebody was curious about my thoughts on the cross and if I think it represents a portal and just the meanings of it overall, just from my perspective. Even though they asked me this, I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to also add on more things about the cross and other symbols that possibly could be used as how can I say, a way to channel spirits, whether you believe in Christ or whatnot, or how can I say, depending on where you put the symbol at, whether a wall or whatnot, um, a way to have a portal. Okay, so let me explain this. So a lot of people have different perspectives on where the cross came from, but I'm going to tell you mine. Okay, I don't know how much you guys know your history, okay, about Romans and things of that nature, and people of Greece and prior to this. I had to write these all in my notes and things. I have a board I drew out here. So the first thing I want to tell you, before the cross became the cross, one of the original symbols before the cross that Christians use, or so-called Christians use before the cross, was the anchor and the dolphin. Okay, an anchor and a dolphin, just like the anchors of the ships, an anchor and a dolphin. Okay, if you were to Google Titus Flavius, he was an emperor. He has them on his coins. And a lot of people who passed away are old Christians. On their tombstones, they had these anchors with fish on them. Mainly dolphins, I would say, either wrapped around it, okay? Again, you can Google these, you can see these images, all right? And then as far as if you forward it in time later on, when Constantine came in, you know how he saw the vision of the sun and the cross. That wasn't necessary the time frame when the cross came in. It was his mother that spoke about you know, using the symbol of the cross. So look into this. I'm giving you hints on what to look at because I really don't want to make this video that long. Okay. Also look into Pontius Pilate. Look into people like this as well. So yes, and then also, you guys, if you don't know, the Romans, you know, they took things from Greece. So when you're talking about the anchor and you're talking about the dolphin, especially the dolphin symbol, it came from the god Apollo. Okay, he represents the sun. If you notice on behind Jesus in a lot of pictures in churches, they have the sun behind his head, but they have an image of a man in front. Okay. So just be mindful of that. Just look into these things, guys. Okay. So when we're talking about symbols and things of that nature, okay, but definitely look into that. There's even books on this, right? That I might share in the end of the video, like Creating Christ and things of that nature. Okay, this is not a hit at Christians or anything like that. I'm just talking about the cross, okay? Just like some people, I'm not saying I believe this, okay? But you know, there's statements where certain Jews back in the day, when they were writing the Torah, they thought that, you know, they looked at it as Jesus as a sorcerer, because there is times where he was telling people to worship other gods in certain texts. You got to relook at books. Again, I'm not saying that I'm vouching for that. I'm just telling you how things come into play where everybody has their different views. They take bits and pieces out of certain scriptures from the Greeks and things of that nature, and they put it in one. But back on top of the cross again. Look into the anchor, okay, the symbol of the dolphins, okay. Look into, again, Titus Flavius. Titus Flavius, I'm gonna say it again, okay. Now that I got that out the way, right, I'm not finished with the cross, okay? And I'm going to tell you why, okay? The cross has not just been in since the Roman times, okay? I'm going to show you this chart, this thing I drew here. Okay, see this? All right? So let me make sure I can see this correctly, okay? Look, cold, dark, hot, dark, right? Cold, light, hot, light. Look, winter. Winter is cold and dark, right? Autumn, look, dark, hot. We're barely coming out to summer, you understand? Hot, light, summer. It's mostly time it's bright in the summer, it's very hot. Cold and light spring, because you're just coming out of the winter. So it's a little cold, but it's light, okay? This is the cross. If you also see in your zodiac, it's also a cross, and it shows how can I say, certain zodiacs split off into certain sections, you know, water, air, fire, earth, you know? Okay, so the cross has always been around. And also, again, you see this, the symbol itself, I wrote here, as you can see, it's a glyph, okay? It shows the cross, the matter enclosed. So this is representing matter enclosed, right? in the circle of spirit. Okay, that's why other than the sun is representing your soul, right? And if you notice on the symbol, it's a circle. Yeah, that's why. And it's encased because earth. Once you come flesh, you're earth. You're grounded. You have all the materials from the luminaries, the planets. Everything is in this minerals, and it makes us here solid. 666. I told you guys before. 6 neutrons, 6 protons, 6 electrons. Right? And then again, observing the seen as we can, and also observing the unseen. As above, so below. As below, so above. Okay. Here, you're going to see the trident, which almost looks like a cross, right? But also an anchor, I should say, but reverse, right? Subjective, private, collective, unconscious. That's what it's representing. The tree of life, okay? Neptune, right? So, because it's showing you on the forks, that's the top. These are like, if you don't know if y'all could, like the Kabbalah tree, right? And at the bottom would be earth. You understand? The material realm. This is going up toward the spirit, right? And then also, if you see, this is another cross. I almost forgot to tell you guys. Objective self-awareness, objective awareness of not self, subjective self-awareness, subjective awareness not of self. So you have the seen and unseen. The self you do know, which is your conscious, and the self you do not know, which is your subconscious, I should say. And then the other side is your conscious, I should say, right? And then what you are perceived as by the public, okay? And then also how you perceived in private when people know you, okay? If it seems like I'm rushing, I might go more in depth, a little bit more. I'm just trying to go through this. All right. Oh, I forgot to tell you. If you notice that I wrote Earth equals the Earth, right? And it says E equals MC squared. Give me 1 second. Whew, it's a lot to put down in a couple of minutes. Not trying to rush anything, okay? I wrote these things down because that way I keep a guideline on track, so I don't make sure I don't skip anything. I don't want to make sure I skip anything because sometimes I talk a little fast, so where's my notes? Bear with me, guys. All right, so when I wrote E equals MC squared, right, you already know about Einstein, right? So in case y'all don't know, Einstein, he stated spirit is energy, okay? And same as mass and matter, they're all the same, okay? Because they come from the same source. That's pretty much what I'm trying to tell you guys. The only difference is the frequency. Okay, so that's why I put that there, in case anybody's wondering why did he put E equals MC squared. Okay, now again, back to the circle. When I was showing y'all the circle and the cross, okay, so the circle is representing spirit. I thought that make this clear earlier with the sun, and the circle is you, your soul, right? Okay. And it also represents 0, which is eternity, because you don't never really die. Like your flesh dies because you're in flesh, your flesh, right? You're sealed up, but your soul is going to continue to go towards source or whatever realm it's supposed to be sent to, right? Now earlier when I wrote, what was it, the Neptune symbol, right? The trident. All that is pretty much a simplified version of me showing y'all a representation of the 10 Sephiroth, right? The dimensions of Kabbalah, okay? The tree of life, pretty much, okay? Which is showing the final reality of how the physical is manifested, right, into reality, like pretty much, yeah. And that reality is the bottom of the earth, like so everything came from spirit, and it comes and concealed itself within spirit, and this cross is holding it together, okay? And all life, as y'all know, life and death and all, we have to go through our seasons, okay? Now, this is a little bit off the subject, but on the subject. When you look at hold on, let me put this down. I got a lot going on. When you look at earth, wind, and fire, and air, for example, right? That's all within us, as you know. And also, again, if you look at your 4 lower chakras, right? They're written in Genesis, right? The 4 horses in Revelations, also representing the 3 chakras. It's just showing you. That's the other 3 chakras are your high vibrational chakras. So again, when it's talking about like about the 4 horsemen, it's representing your lower chakras. And that's another video for another time. I don't want to get too deep, but I'm just putting these things out here. How whether you want to believe crosses are portals or symbols for good or bad, or if you want to say religion's good or bad, everything is on your perspective. Everybody's is just different. But again, I'm talking about. I only brought the past up because everything that was original has changed. Like, think about it. It went from anchors and fish to a cross. Okay. Again, a lot of things are stories and also hidden messages within the story, but a lot of us are not thinking that deeply. The only reason I think this deeply, I told y'all guys before, I spend a lot of time to myself. I do hang out sometimes with people, but I spend a lot of time with myself. I'm pretty much to myself. My last big relationship I had, again, was 6 years ago. My fiance, long time ago. I've been celibate since then. I've been really self-focused on my spiritual side of myself, and now I'm in a time in my life where I can enjoy myself. So again, this is why I came into this knowledge, because I kind of did like the ancients did. You know, you sit with yourself, and it's not that like I think about these things every day. It's like sometimes I get thoughts telling me things. Okay, I just had to put that out there. Now, when you're talking about Christ, right? I don't know if y'all know this. When he died on the cross, right? So back to the circle. Right? See how there's a circle in the cross, right? Okay, I'm going to tell you guys something. This is not me downing any Christians there are downing that Jesus existed. I do have my own view on that. I do feel that he pretty much, again, there was a soul in that name that came, but I have a different view of how I view it, okay? But a long story short, when I look at the cross in the circle, right, it's symbolic of Jesus Christ, okay? Because it's pretty much representing the obedience. It's representing all of our obedience, okay, for the divine laws and spirit imprisoned in the matter of physical body. So what happened was, you know how he's like he's representing God or Christ. So the God that's within all of us was within Christ, and when he died on that cross, it was materialized. So that cross with the blood is showing how we are going through so many things day by day, feeling like we're being persecuted or sacrificed day by day because our soul decided to come down here in the material realm and experience whether it be pain or love. And that's everything that he did, and he died on the cross. And it's representing all the phases, because there were seasons of good times in Christ's life and there's seasons of bad times. And technically as humanity, if you look at it in a symbolic way, not because he existed, just in a symbolic way, all humans, no matter if it's autumn, winter, fall, summer, whatever, we all go through our phases. Some people die in one season, come back one season. Some people have died and come back, and this is all the representation of this. Okay. So again, that's and that's why I keep telling people, this is why the cross or symbols like these are so powerful, if you know the true meaning behind these things. Okay. Is anything else I want to state on that? No, that's not all. That's all. You know, because they have different versions of the cross. You even have the ones that people use, that the Ku Klux Klan use, but also in Indian culture, they have their cross. You know the little, excuse my little thing where they do the little. Hold on, it's not it. Like where they, y'all know what I'm talking about, the little Nazi cross. Like so. Excuse me, I gotta redraw that. But y'all know what I mean, the Nazi cross. So when y'all look at the Nazi cross, you know, a lot of that cross originated in India, and it had different symbols. It was never really a bad meaning. But when somebody makes it bad, you know, it get like energies that are negative will draw to it. So what I'm trying to say is, right now I can make up a random symbol and put my energy into it, and it then now becomes bad because I had enough energy in it. If I'm with a group of people, it's now negative. Same thing, right? I don't have it on me right now, but I'm going to use an example, okay? I'm just going to use an example. All right, so this is a pendant of Persephone, also known as Kore, okay? Now on the back is Nike. So, for example, her name could be like destruction, and you know, if you look at it from the her name breaks down to, pretty much in a nutshell. Now, say, you know, as y'all see, I'm not Greek. Now, say I wanted to change this, I can change this. I'm going to use an example. In America, I don't know how many people are from America out there. There was known that, you know, slaves were forced to be Catholic or Christian, right? So what happened was the slave owner might see them with what do you call it, a figurine or a statue of Mary, a Caucasian looking woman, but these people or slaves are like black, right? So what they'll do is they'll act like they're worshiping Mary, but they'll be worshiping their own goddess, you know, whether it be Oya, Yemaya, whatever, in Africa, and they'll use it. So when the people came in there, they see them, oh, they're doing what I told them to do. They're praying to a Caucasian deity, but they're actually praying to their deity, because what it was still the form of a female. Didn't matter if what she looked like. And so because they had enough intentions and thoughts, they end up drawing this feminine energy to protect them and also curse people with this. Okay, that's just an example. A lot of cultures done this. They did this in Mesopotamia. They did this in Greece. They used to put Hecate, the statue, in homes to like protect them from the negative evil spirits. Some people even use the Lilith symbol, not the sigil, but just her name and things like that. And they wrote it on bowls and stuff, and they consecrated to protect themselves. All cultures have done this. And so even if people look at Lilith in a negative way, depending on your mindset, you can use it in a good energy. Okay, it doesn't matter what y'all think that spirit really is. It's about what you're doing, because you still have the power of God within you, because we still are humans and we're made up of all elements. Okay, that's why I'm a big advocate on telling people, try to be as positive as possible. You really don't know how powerful you are, because again, we're not God where we can make earth or anything like that, but we have a lighter version of that. For example, if you're healthy, a woman can have a baby. That's amazing. You can create life. You do something similar to God, but you're not God. You know, I'm getting with this, and it doesn't mean that we should try to be God. I'm just saying that you do have that power. You know, if you didn't want the child, people can drink and cause it to have an illness and pass on. You know, that's I'm saying. We have the power to take life and give life, but it's all because of the divine source. So on earth, when we're using symbols, praying, or even if we were in church doing things, be mindful of what you do. And so to answer the original question, when I look at the cross, I look at it as a symbol that's protective, depending on the person. And every soul that passed away from that can be channeled through that, like a tarot card. You can channel a spirit through the cross. And also, if it is placed on a certain stone, formation, or rock, you can pretty much, a portal can open. Yes, a portal can open to draw spirits to you, and not necessarily on the wall, but a portal can be above it, like within the air or wherever the vicinity that wants to come through. It doesn't matter if you're in a building, a portal can pop up, because a portal is not bound by material, because the vibration is higher than frequency, which is another story for another time. So I hope that answers your question. One of my followers who asked me this question. Forgive me for adding a little bit all that extra stuff, but I kind of wanted to, because I didn't want to just make a 2-minute video when I could put a little bit more information about just things as a whole. Again, guys, I'm going to be back to my tarot readings more. I keep getting people asking me questions about some stuff that I kind of want to put out there, and all I'm doing is, guys, I'm not here to sway you guys to come out of your beliefs or nothing like that. I'm just here to put thoughts in your head to spark you to be open-minded of why we live in a world that may not seem as perfect as it could be, or why we go through these troubles. It's not really necessary, like me and you that's living right now, our fault. It's the people before us. All cultures, they've all done things, and then they also erase things, because every time a country conquers, they either mix themselves within it, or take control of what they knew, or they destroy it. All of them. Like, there's European countries and other European countries. There's even African countries against other African countries. There's Asians against Asians. It's horrible. It's really a bad, to me, energy that's with humans, that we do that sometimes. Yes, it's a little bit better now, but it's been there. And so when you do that, it's kind of hard to find the truth. So you're pretty much going on hopes and a prayer that you know what's correct. Okay, and yes, there were some great people that were able to preserve information that was very correct and very spot on. But even then, as humans, we have to use discernment, because we are in the age of Aquarius. We're going to have to come to some type of awareness. That's why we have all this technology, and everybody's trying to come together in this humanitarian energy, because again, that's the age. That's what Aquarius do. If you look at just Aquarius as a whole, not just as in the cosmos, if you knew Aquarius as a person, and on the positive side, that's what it is. And the reason why we're struggling coming out of the age of Pisces, you have a lot of the baby boomers, and people are older, not all, who are in the Pisces age, who are still overly stuck with the indoctrinations that they've learned, and they don't want to let it go. And some of them can't believe that this is happening. And then they look at the younger people, or even if you're my age, like in the late 30s, like me, 39, like, what's wrong with you? But it's not for them to judge this. Only the higher power to know this. And if you look in the Bible, every phase that whether Moses or anybody has been through is just talking about certain phases that we've been through. So, when Moses, for example, blew the horn, that was the age of Aries. If you notice, there's a lot of war and a lot of conflict during that time period. Think about what Aries stands for. It's like war. Then there was a time where they were worshiping the bull. It wasn't just because of the divine feminine or Baal. It's like, you gotta remember, it's Taurus. Like, come on, guys, let's really think about this. I'm not justifying them worshiping every single deity. I'm not justifying them doing sacrificing people or anything like that, that's wrong because it's a real primitive mindset. But I do also know that they are possibly affected by negative spirits that were here before the humans. And that's another story for another day. Okay, so again, there are truths in a lot of scriptures and books from all around the world, but I was just telling anybody, use your discernment and do what feels true to you. Because if you keep trying to find truth that do things that's always been around as truth, sometimes you can still be led astray. Because if you notice, there are still a lot of cultures following certain belief systems, and I'm not talking about religion, even certain pagan cultures, and they're not moving anywhere. Like, they're still not in a good environment. They're probably still broke. They're still probably sad. Their relationship's still horrible. So what good was it? Didn't do anything. It just caused division, and we're supposed to come together. Because one of my biggest things that one of my guys told me is that we as humans, we cannot continue to do the same things we did before, whether it be cleaning up earth. Even if we think we're recycling, we're not doing enough. That's what they told me. They even showed me those visions of how the chemicals and how even some of the ships and vessels that I was on in the military affected the animals, and the whales and dolphins were going across shore and getting affected by the radiation from the submarines. They showed me so much stuff. So again, not to get off subject, we have so much more to do here on Earth. And no, from my perspective, Earth is not going to end anytime soon. I don't care how many wars, anything break out, it is not the end. We have a long way to go. It doesn't matter how much the population might decrease, we have a long way to go. And I feel very comfortable with saying that. Because again, even when I'm saying I know we have a long way to go, I never specifically specify the time, but I know it's not in our lifetime. So again, I hope this video makes sense, guys. I didn't want to make this video too long. Again, if you like the video, thumbs it up. If I went over your head and I need to break anything else down, let me know. I just didn't want to make it too deep. I mainly just answer that question about what I thought about the cross and could it represent like a portal or channeling. Again, and even with that said, don't think so witchy about it. Don't think like, oh, that's dark and negative. It's just energy. Like, you don't get it. Like, our bodies are channels. Like, we are between earth and heaven. That's why spirits can come through us. Like, I'm a medium. Spirits can come through you. Like, even a regular person can get affected by energy that they feel from their parents. Like, you can't get away from it, guys. It's part of us. And so one thing I've learned with humans is it's hard for them to accept things, and they don't want to be accountable for things, whether good or bad. That's a problem. Doesn't matter how you look at it. But again, I'm not here to force any thoughts in your head. You got to learn your lessons and learn your truths just like I did. I'm just a man with a message trying to bring it to light. And I'm only here mainly when I make messages like this, other than when people ask me, just to put a spark in your mind. Like, think of something different you never thought about. And I put these messages out too, so like when I do a reading, or if you see a reading from me or anybody else on social media, or you see somebody in person, or even if you go to church and you hear your pastor, whatever you believe in, really understand, like, how come, your pastor might have said, oh, God said that you're going to get blessed today, but you didn't get blessed yet. Like, it might come a week later. Or your tarot reader said you're going to get blessed today. Just really think about this, man. Or you might be like, well, even if you don't believe anything, you're atheist, you studied, but yet you didn't pass your test. It's not really that you were dumb. Okay, yeah, your brain probably didn't remember everything, but it's still divine timing. It probably wasn't meant for you to remember everything in that moment in your test, and you weren't supposed to pass this test or get this job until a year later. So you're meant to like maybe struggle a little bit. It's sad to say this, but we're not always supposed to have a smooth life right here. It makes sense. You can only try to make it as smooth as possible if you can, but it's not going to always be perfect, peachy perfect. That's what I'm trying to say. And I do this so people won't start feeling bad about themselves. Cause I know this on any video, not just tarot, but like even on history channels, right? Some people can't believe their culture conquered another country, and they look at their culture like, oh, they're bad. Don't make that affect your emotions though, guys. Like, yeah, you can get sad, but don't get all butthurt about it. If you are oppressed, don't get too butthurt about it. It doesn't mean I condone death or people in slavery. Because I come from a mixed family, so like I'm not really getting mad about what happened in the past. It's the past. Because how can I move on with my emotions and be at peace if I'm going to keep living in the past? Like, I told y'all, like, again, I've had family members that have been hurt, taken out early from other people, but I'm not sitting here mad. I had to learn to forgive and let go so I could be at peace, because if I keep doing that, even with lovers, girls I've dated, how can I move on and heal? I cannot, and my soul won't let me do it. That's one reason on my tarot channel, y'all not going to really see me talk about, like, gossip, because I don't want to draw people to my channel who leave all these comments about, oh, I remember my man, he did this, that, and the third, which is fine. But then I notice those will be my most popular readings, but I don't want to like be talking down on people's names. Now, if gossip, or cheating comes up in the reading, that's different. But I'm not going to actually title my video, "What's the gossip about from your significant other?" Because it's like, I don't know. I just think the vibration is going to throw me off. So that's why I mostly, again, I do tarot channel. My tarot trying to do things of uplifting, inspirational, and also what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You're right. And then sometimes I mix it in with these teachings, or if somebody asks me something, or paranormal stories. I mean, I might do a military story, but that's all. But again, my channel is mainly what do you call it, just tarot. So if y'all like my video again, sorry I got long with it on that little tangent. Like, subscribe, man, and you're probably gonna be seeing more influxes of tarot readings. I'm gonna take a break from the teaching thing unless I get called to put out some more stuff, because I don't want to overwhelm my channel with this stuff. And yeah. So again, I hope y'all like my video. Thumbs it up, subscribe, blessings to you all, you guys. All right, blessed be.